Hey, yo, what's good, Facebook? That's your boy Jeremy. How y'all doing this evening, man? Man, I'm just chilling in my crib, man. You know, about getting ready to hit the hay, man. But before I do that, man, I want to talk about something I feel like was important. Normally I wouldn't have responded with something like this, but I decided to go ahead and get my 2 cents on it because I feel like it's deeper than what people realize. I've been hearing on Facebook and Instagram about George Lopez's response to audience member response to his jokes. Now, for those who do not know, George Lopez is a comic that is Latino. I have actually known of George Lopez myself for the past, I would say, 12 years, ever since his show came on, I think in 2005, if I'm not mistaken. It was called The George's Show. Good show. I loved it. I watched it since I was a kid on Nick at Night. But anyway, apparently what happened was the night of the incident, George Lopez was doing a comedy routine about unwritten rules in Latinos' homes. Basically, what he said was he said two rules. Rule number one: you don't bring a black person to your house. Rule number two is that a black man is not allowed to park in front of the house. Now he didn't say that those exact words, but I just said it a little differently. Now, after he said that, the young lady that he had a disagreement with, she got up and she gave him the finger. And then after she gave him the finger, she supposedly they was yelling at him or whatever, and he responded very vulgarly. What he said was he told her to sit her ass down. Then he called her a bitch, and when he called her a bitch, that's when everything broke loose. Now I'm not completely sure the race of the woman, but I saw the original video myself, and they said that the reporters of the station that owns the video said that she was black, so I'm going with that for now. She's black. Now we all know how strong black women are. So if you call a black woman a bitch, you're asking for it. So they claim she was yelling at him, but you really couldn't tell because there was so much noise. But anyway, after that, George Lopez handled her by having her escorted out by security, and four people that were with her left. Now, there's a lot I have to talk about this whole incident. First of all, do I feel like George Lopez was wrong with his response? Yes. Do I think the young lady was wrong in how she responded? Um, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Here's why. George Lopez, as a comic, has a right of freedom of speech. He has every right to say what he wants to say. The woman also has the right to express her disapproval of the joke. So they both had their rights. The issue I have with George Lopez's response is number one, he went way over the line by calling out a name that was uncalled for. It was no need to call her a bitch. She didn't do anything to you to deserve to be called a bitch. She only gave you her opinion about how she didn't like your joke. And as a comic and as a professional, you were supposed to have took it a little bit more. You were supposed to have showed a little bit more temperament than he did. So I don't agree with that. Now I would say, to be fair to him, that she didn't have to get him the finger. She could have just said, "Your joke is whack" or whatever. That would have been fair enough. But to give him the finger was a little bit much. And he didn't have to necessarily escort her out of the club. He didn't give her a chance to calm down. Then again, like I said, I don't know if she was yelling at him or not. They could have been. She probably just explaining herself, and he probably couldn't handle it, so he escorted her out. But for the most part, I understand what his joke was about. Now, before y'all say anything, yes, I know I'm black. So was I offended? In a way, yes, I was. I can't deny I wasn't offended because as a black man, As a real man, I feel like that I'm worthy of any woman, no matter what her race is. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to be ashamed of my race just because I'm going over her parents' house and they're Latino, they don't like me. First of all, I'm supposed to get her approval, not yours. As long as she feel like I'm worthy, that's all that matters. But with that being said, I can understand his joke. See, we have to understand we live in a society that is racially, culturally integrated. So obviously, people from different cultural and racial backgrounds are going to have different perspectives. Like many black brothers that we know of, like Richard Pryor, Ray Fox, uh, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, who speaks their minds all the time through their comedy and speak based on our narrative and perspectives as black men. George Lopez was explaining things based on a Latino perspective, explaining the unwritten rules of that exist in his community. You know what I'm saying? Cause let's face facts, man. Yeah, black man had the same similar speech. When we were growing up, our mamas and pops would tell the same thing. They would say, "You better not bring that white girl home. Shit, you crazy as hell, ain't you? You crazy as hell if you bring that white woman home. Don't bring her to my house." I'm sure a lot of us heard our mama say the same thing. Man, you know them old saying they used to say. Like, she can't use my comb, you better not bring her home. Shit. If she can't make no good cornbread, don't take her to bed. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So we gotta keep it real. Those rules exist in our households too now. So we can't necessarily say that, we can't be too mad at the brother. Not to mention the fact that, unfortunately, there's some truth to it, because, hey, you go to certain Latino communities, man, if you black, they gonna give you the eye. Just like we would if somebody came to certain our neighborhoods. It's just based on their perspective. So George Lopez, that's all he was doing. He was just speaking on his perspective. It's racial to our perspective because we get insulted, but to him, that's just the narrative that exists in his community. You know what I'm saying? It's an unfortunate narrative, but it is a narrative. So we can't be mad at him about that. What we should be focusing on is how we change that narrative. You know what I'm saying? How do we make him understand? And first of all, we gotta keep in mind that he was only speaking from a cultural perspective, not his personal perspective. He never said he wouldn't date a black woman. He never said that he would not bring a black woman to his home or would not allow his kids to do that. He was speaking based on a cultural narrative. Because like a lot of us have white friends and Latino friends, he has a lot of black comedy friends like D.L. Hughley. I saw a video with him talking about the incident, and he said him and George Lopez are good buddies, and they did tours together. So George Lopez do have a lot of friends. So hey, he never said he was racist. He was just speaking on based on a cultural narrative, as we do. Some of us have white friends, but a lot of them comics, just like damn, I forgot. Oh yeah, Bernie Mac. We know Bernie Mac knew some white people when he was alive, and he spoke some racially motivated jokes. So, it's just based on a cultural perspective. That doesn't mean he's racist. So we gotta keep that in mind. Now, like I said, as a black man, I was kind of offended by it, but I don't hate him for it. It was a lot of truth in with his jokes. So what we have to do now is we have to acknowledge that there's still a lot of racial tensions between our peoples. You know, it's deeper than that because we inherited a lot of the enemies of the white supremacists. And this is just one of the unfortunate results of slavery. Now we got a race of people who never depressed us, who never raped us, who never raped our people or our land, hating us because of certain false narratives that was built over time, based on slavery and white supremacy and many other things. So now we gotta fix it. We gotta take responsibility. Here, we can't depend on the government to do it. The government ain't gonna never fix the problem. Yeah, but they like us fighting. That makes it easier for them to control us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we got people in government that was around during Jim Crow days. Hell, when they wouldn't even allow us to pee in the same toilet. Yeah, you got some of them guys in Congress still trying to figure out here what the colors on their fountain. So shit, we can't expect them to fix it. We gotta fix it. No, we gotta teach each other about ourselves, man, and stop allowing these false narratives and lies dictate how we treat each other, man, and learn each other. Cause Latinos are just like us. They're human beings with just a different perspective, a different experience. Just like we have a unique experience in America, they have a unique experience in America. So let's not hate George Lopez for what he said, and let's not hate what he said. What try to understand why he said it, and by understanding why he said it and understanding where he comes from, we can begin to heal. We can heal the wound between our two peoples and become and just come together. And we gotta stop allowing ourselves to look down on the Latinos. Cause remember, we were looked down upon too. A lot of the jobs they doing, we did. That's why a lot of them work for cheaper than us. Unfortunately, that's sad. So we're trying to begin the healing, man. Like I said, instead of hating what he said, let's understand what he said. So that we can fix that false narrative. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's all I got, y'all, for tonight, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all share it, and I hope y'all got something out of it.